Okay, people, let's cue the insane today. And this really is insane. I'm going to deal with the courts today. Here's the new thing that they are issuing as of March 1st, 2013. It's a revised questionnaire for your guilty plea. Doesn't matter if it's a traffic offense, doesn't matter if it's a gross misdemeanor or a misdemeanor or a felony. It doesn't matter. If you plead guilty, they will issue this packet to you. Even by mail. If you enter a fine by mail for a traffic offense, they will send you this questionnaire. Now, I will give you case precedents to beat these questions in court without getting a contempt of court charge. Have you ever been a patient in a mental hospital? Not applicable. Have you ever talked or been treated by a psychiatrist for a nervous or mental condition? Have you been recently ill? Do you like your government? Do you or have you ever had an anger issue? These are all questions that were shot down when the president tried to get his gun control past Congress. These are the questions that this is why they shot it down. Is because these questions are a complete invasion of your privacy. Now, I understand you don't want to hand a gun to a mentally ill person. Fine. Congress doesn't agree with that. Congress agrees that unless there's something violent crime in your past, they can't take your gun rights away. Okay, now, these questions are completely against your right to privacy in the fact that it violates your First, Fourth, Fifth Amendment, which is your right to remain silent under the grounds that may incriminate yourself. It may not incriminate you in that courtroom that day, but if you're a gun advocate and you try to go get a gun, they're going to see that questionnaire. Okay? Now, regardless of whether you're mental or not, these issues are your privacy, and since 98% of all court hearings are done publicly, open forum court, okay? The rest of them are family law and ones that are too gruesome to show anybody or something along that lines, or you've asked for a closed hearing, or the judge has issued a closed hearing, which means no media. We all know why they don't want that in there. Now, these questions are completely against your right to privacy. Not only that, if you answer them yes or no, it doesn't matter. You've automatically given up to your right to that privacy, regardless of whether they have a release from HIPAA or not. HIPAA are the people that control the doctor-client, doctor-patient privilege. Okay? That's who you sign releases for when you go and talk to people. You sign a release saying that you understand that they cannot give this information out. Now, here's where the insanity is. Whether or not you answer these questions, they're still going to come at you. They cannot issue a contempt of court. Why? Because you are invoking a right on record. You have to say this on record in the courtroom. Now, you shouldn't have to do this. They shouldn't be asking these questions. They have no right to dig into your personal life like that unless it's a violent crime. Mine was not a violent crime. Mine had nothing to do with hurting another person whatsoever. I'm going to give you case precedents. The judge asked me, do you like your government? I answered that question. I told him outright, no. He goes, why? I said, because of these questions, I do not like my government. They do not have a right to ask these questions. He agreed with me and said that I don't have to answer those questions on the record or off the record. He will accept my non-applicable and my right to invoke my privacy. There is no constitutional amendment that covers directly privacy, but there are ones that touch on it. Any of them that say that you have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, your life is private. You don't want some psychiatrist telling the judge that, Or you don't want to tell the judge that you've talked to a psychiatrist about your wife cheating on you, or your husband cheating on you, or your cat died. That's none of their business. Okay? That is none of their business at all. Here's the case precedence. Case file number 34CR13339. Candy, Ojai County, Minnesota. All these laws are either, or all these questions are either going to be, they're going to be statewide soon, because there's only certain counties that implement them. Now, I was informed by the prosecutor that soon this packet will be nationwide. Okay? The more people that hear and see this video and hear from you, word of mouth, that they cannot ask you these questions and that you have case precedence. Case precedence is my case, the number I just gave you, that you can use against them. The judge ruled that these questions are an invasion of my privacy. I invoked my right on record. You have to do it on record. You have to. It has to be recorded by the stenographer or by tape that they use in the courtroom, that you invoke your right to privacy, that you do not have to answer these questions. All right? They cannot issue a contempt of court because you are not contempting court. You are not telling him, no, I won't answer these questions because you're asking me them. No, I won't answer these questions because it's an invasion of my privacy. You, as a citizen, have that right. Okay? Now, I represented myself pro se, which means I didn't want a lawyer. I don't need a lawyer for something that I can do myself. Not to mention they charge you an arm and a leg, and it's supposed to be a public offender because you can't afford one. And they still charge you. That's insane. Now, the case file I just gave you was dated June 5th, 2013. It's Candy, Ojai County. And use this case, please. Use this information, because even if you're a traffic offender, it doesn't matter. There was 2 people in the courtroom. One went through a stop sign, one went through a stop light. They were both asked these same questions. What does a psychiatrist have to do with a traffic offense? What? What does a mental health state have to do with a traffic offense? If you're in a hurry to get to the hospital, that I can understand. No, these are questions that are totally an invasion of your privacy. Now, use this information however you like. The more people that use it, the more people that see it, the more case precedences there is for the government not to use this information against anybody. All right? That's my cue the insane today. I am uncueing the insane right now. Peace.